it going, folks? This is Wayne back with another lesson. Something for the rockers today. We've got an absolute classic, Black Sabbath and Paranoid. Big fan of heavy metal music. Obviously, I'm known as an indie kid, you know, bit of a mod, but always had a soft spot for rock music. I just love the energy of it, and this is, you know, one of the songs that kicked all the heavy metal scene off. And if you know your power chords, it's not that difficult to play either. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so this song is in standard tuning. I've turned the distortion off, obviously, for the lesson, so I've just, you know, so it's not sort of sounding dirty and we get overtones in and everything. So the first thing that you're going to need, we're going to need to bar the low E string and the A string with the first finger, okay? And we're going to do this little hammer on with the third finger onto the 14th onto the A string. So we get this. So we're playing the two notes together, and after we played it, we're going to hammer that note on, and that was with the third finger on the 14th fret, okay? And I'm just playing, obviously, the E and the A string together, as you would with a power chord. So we got this. So it's going to do that twice. After we've done that, we're going to do a hammer on from 12 to 14, that's on the A string. And we're going to do the same on the D string. And we're going to go back, A string, and when we go back to the D string, we're just going to play 12, and then we're going to play 14 on the A string above. So we put all that together, we got. Okay, and it's going to run over that 4 times. Okay, and that's your sort of the riff for the intro. Okay, so then we go into pretty much all power chords now. So the first power chord that you're going to need, we're still up on the 12th fret on the low E string, that's the first finger there. Second finger is going to be on the 14th on the A. Now, it's up to you whether you do a 2-fingered power chord or a 3-fingered power chord. I prefer to do the 3, so all we're going to do is add the little pinky underneath the third finger, that will be on the 14th. On the D string, okay, and when we play this, we're going to hit, obviously, the strings that the fingers are on. So we got the E, A, and the D string. So all downstrokes as well. So we get this. Okay, then we're going to move that down 2 steps. So we're now on the 10th fret with the first finger. Other 2 fingers are on the 12th fret. And then we get this quick turnaround where we just move all of that shape down. So my first finger is now on the A string. The other 2 fingers are on the D and the G on the 12th fret, okay? Back up again and then back to the 12th fret. So we put that together, we've got... Okay, a little bit slower. Okay, and I think it's nice to put this double stop in at the end, so that's just hitting the 12th fret on the D and the G together. Okay, so we do that after the... Okay, so when the singing comes in, that carries on under the vocals, so... Finish with my woman, 'cause she couldn't help me with my mind. Say I'm insane, 'cause I'm always frowning all the time. Okay, and then we got this little bit where it goes. So just sort of let that note ring out, and we're going to move that down to the 8th fret. Okay, with the first finger, back to the 10th. And it's nice to slide that, so we got this. Does that twice, does it again? Okay, and then we got the chorus part, which is just going to play the Can you help me? We're just going to move that down 2 steps again to the 10th fret. Single strums on these. Occupy my brain. Oh yeah. Let me go back into the verse chorus. So. Okay, now that is pretty much the meat and potatoes of the song, so he even does that bit. Obviously underneath the solo. So after the solo comes in another verse, and then that would go round another 2 times. The only difference is the second time round we've got this little sort of ending part. Okay, so the last time round we play the little, obviously the verse section. Okay, so rather than going around the little turnaround bit, what it actually does on the last time, so we've got the last verse where he sings 2 lines, and then it goes into another 2 times around with the you know, the. And then the second time round, it's going to do this ending where it's going to play the. Start off the same. This time, instead of doing the little turnaround here, we're going to play in sort of an open A power chord. So I'm just basically barring, you can use 2 fingers, but I'm barring the D and the G string together. I'm playing the open A string. And I'm using my second finger to this little quarter note bend. That would be the 3rd fret on the low E string. And then we're going to finish off with an E power chords. So that last time round. Okay, and that is pretty much the meat and potatoes of the song. So I think it's nice to put a little bit of palm muting in as you play this song. So obviously those that have never done it before, you're basically quite difficult to do, takes a lot of practice. So that part of your palm, we're just lightly resting that on the top of the strings, not too heavy, just so we sort of get this. Obviously a lot more effective with the overdrive on. And I think it's nice, obviously in the breaks when he's not singing over the top of this, I think it's nice to put these little accents in, so we got this. So it's like a down, down, and the 3rd downstroke make that a little bit louder, so. Okay, just little things like that I think, you know, add a few more little dynamics in the song. And that is pretty much all you're going to need. Okay, so thanks very much for watching. Hope you all dug that. Like I say, something a little bit different to what I usually do. I mean, I know I'm known for acoustic stuff, but I've been doing a few sort of classic riffs just lately, and I thought I'd throw into that category. Just because it's a great song, and it's obviously probably the song that kicked all the heavy metal thing off. Huge hit for Black Sabbath. I think to this day probably their biggest hit. And Ozzy, you know, what a legend. Obviously it's a shame he's just come out that he's got Parkinson's disease and everything, so I'd like to send me love to Ozzy and his family. Obviously Ozzy is a legend, but there we go. So hope you all dug that. If you've got any other requests for, you know, not just Black Sabbath songs or heavy metal songs, everything that you usually do acoustic, or if you do want some more heavy metal lessons with classic songs, nothing too heavy. I'm not into, you know, Slipknot and all that sort of scene, but obviously I love Metallica and bands like that, and AC/DC and Black Sabbath, just sort of the classic rock bands. So if you have got any requests for anything like that, you can either comment in the post below, or a good way to reach me these days on social media. So I'm Wayne R Guitar on Facebook, Twitter, and now also Instagram, and that way you can find me a message over. I do always reply to messages, you just got to respect I get hundreds of requests, but don't let that put you off. Please do keep them coming. I do handpick them a little bit, but that's what keeps this channel going, so there we go. Thanks everyone who's subscribed, as always, really means a lot, you know, big heartfelt thank you. And those who continue to do so, if you're not, please do, you know, this is a great sort of easy to intermediate sort of lessons, mainly songs. There's a few technique lessons there as well if you want to check those out. I think if you look to my playlist, a lot of them are sort of listed in there, so if you want to check those out. But if you are subscribed, a way that you could help me, if you click the little notification bell down there, so every time I post a video, which is either once, twice, sometimes 3 times a week if I get around to it, and you'll get notified every time I do so, and you can get on the lesson straight away. So that just leaves me to say have a great morning, day, night, whenever it is you're watching, and keep on rocking.